Hello and welcome back to Fallout 4. Last episode we killed Kellogg and ran through his memories. And this episode we're gonna meet Virgil in the glowing sea. One thing I've noticed between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 is that there's a lot of very similar story elements to them. In Fallout 3, you're searching for a missing family member, your father. In Fallout 4, you're searching for a missing family member who ends up being known as father. The super mutant character, there's like one sort of intelligent, helpful super mutant character that's very integral to getting through the story. In Fallout 3, he's able to retrieve the Gek from the vault. Retrieve the Gek from the vault that allows you not to be so heavily irradiated. And in Fallout 4, he gives you the means of traveling into the Institute and pointing you where to go. Along the way, you meet some helpful scientist who in both games is like an Asian woman. I don't know, it just kind of seems like there's so many similar elements that a lot of the story was either lifted from Fallout 3 or ML wasn't paying attention to what he was doing between 3 and 4. I'm sure I can think of some more if I had some additional time. Anyways, heading over to the glowing sea. The glowing sea is the area that the bombs fell on in the beginning of the game. It's actually an interesting change of scenery, seeing a heavily irradiated wasteland with no reasonable amount of vegetation or anything like that. It's very similar actually to the environment from Fallout 3. That's probably a raider camp over there. One of the problems with not having any like interesting settlements or locations to go to that have story elements and aren't just raider grounds is there's really no incentive to explore. Like, oh wow, I can't wait to have to shoot my way out of this. Oh, didn't want to do that. Whoops. Slowly filling up my rats here. But yeah, so like over there, I have no reason to say, hey, what's going on over there? Is there anyone to meet? Are there any cool quests to do? Instead, it's just gonna be people shooting at me. Fallout 4 is less of an RPG and more of an open world shooter. And even then, like, the elements they introduced as far as shooting goes are only very superficial. The movement's certainly better, that's not very superficial. But the other innovation is that you don't have to unequip your gun in order to throw a grenade, which is a complaint I had in New Vegas. But iron sights, you know, being able to aim Aim your gun, that was introduced in New Vegas. Weapon modifications, that was introduced in New Vegas. Oh, the randomized stats for quote-unquote legendary guns is also something added in Fallout 4, but pardon me, I just don't see that as being very spectacular since a lot of the changes are very superficial. Where's Nick? He's probably super mutant chow. So here we are in the area where things are seemingly arbitrarily don't grow. Now this could, be an explanation as to why Washington DC doesn't have any vegetation, even though right next to it in West Virginia there's lush forest and stuff. And that Washington DC was hit with multiple nukes. It fell in the very epicenter of the area, and stuff like that. But the explanation Bethesda gave, I kid you not, is that Washington DC was hit much later than anywhere else, which makes zero sense from any standpoint. First of all, Washington DC is the epicenter of the United States government, so if China is going to nuke an area, if they're willing to take that leap and try and, launch the bombs, why would they not hit that area first and wipe out what little of the United States government, or what most of the United States government they can get? Go away. It's a rad scorpion. I don't understand why there's scorpions in the East Coast United States. It makes sense to have radioactive scorpions in Fallout 1 to New Vegas because they're native to the American Southwest. But the eastern coast of the United States has climates that don't lend itself well to those creatures. And if someone wants to make the argument, well, maybe they're irradiated scorpions from exotic pet shops or, collectors of exotic animals, then they would also have to explain why there's no irradiated tarantulas, snakes, gerbils, parrots, all the other sort of animals you can find in pet stores. But anyways, back to the nukes. So it doesn't make sense to launch last because that's where the United States government is primarily located, and if it's last, it gives them ample opportunity to flee into bunkers. That's where you want to strike first if you want to kill the president and Congress and the Supreme Court and stuff like that. It seems like a no-brainer, but I guess Bethesda's version of China just missed the memo. The second reason is, how long could the Great War have gone on for? Like, once the nukes start firing, the idea behind mutually assured destruction is that if one person tries striking first, others will also... What are you doing? Oh. The place you're attacking will be able to fire back.
Atom's holy ground. Why? State your purpose or be divided in his sight.
Here because I need your help.
I'm here. Do you seek division? Have you come to merge with Atom, to be split in his infinite glory? Or do you seek to tear down his followers?
Looking for Virgil.
Virgil? Yes, we know this Virgil.
Can you tell?
Do you have a moment?
What do you need of me, child?
You seen Virgil?
I'm looking.
Yes, I know of him. What do you want with him?
I need some information.
He has sought refuge with Adam. I would know more before I tell you where he is. What do you want with him?
How did that fail? Whatever. Need help reaching the Institute.
I have heard of this institute. They hide themselves, trying to avoid the power of Adam. A futile effort. In truth, this Virgil has caused some concern. Some believe his presence is an affront to Adam. Though he came to trade with us on a few occasions, we have had little other contact with him. It was quite clear he wanted to be left alone. You can find him southwest of the crater, living in a cave. I would approach cautiously were I you. I feel he does not want visitors.
Alright, anything I can loot here? A few caps. Hey, Nick. Yeah, how late could they possibly launch a bomb, since it would likely be handled by automated systems, and even if it isn't, like, the moment nukes start hitting is the moment that the other side just launches everything it has, and again, it'll likely launch at the epicenter of American government. One actually, kind of cool thing Fallout 4 does is have the place you're going to outside of the map. So it really sort of makes you feel like you're exploring a strange and uncharted territory. I mean, what they could say instead is that Washington, D.C. was hit the hardest, or that they used their most devastating nukes on Washington, D.C., because not every nuclear bomb is created equally. I'm trying to take a roundabout way to get to Virgil's cave, because outside of it is a Deathclaw. And that actually would be an interesting introduction to the creature in Fallout 4, surrounded by this irradiated shithole. But unfortunately, they blew their loads way too early when it comes to that thing at the start of the game. I'm running low on fusion cores, but luckily once I get there I can just fast travel to and back. Sprinting seems to deplete your fusion core faster than just walking. And there are perks you can take to make it deplete slower. Though I do find it kind of funny that this problem never came up in any of the previous Fallout games. Personally, I think it's a addition we can do without. Cannot go that way. Cannot go that way. I will save just in case the game does anything fucky. Alright, so if I recall correctly, there's some, aspects of this Virgil guy that was never explained to my character. Similar to Nick Valentine, actually. And so just try to think of what anyone would do when they first meet this guy and don't know beforehand what he looks like or whether or not he's dangerous or anything like that. They have no prior knowledge of this Virgil character. Yeah, there's a death claw. But who wants to put up with that? Then you have turrets that don't automatically fire on you despite him wanting people out, and there he is.
Take it nice and slow. No sudden moves. I know you're from the Institute. So where's Kellogg? Huh? Trying to sneak up on me while you distract me? It's not going to work. I'm not stupid. I knew they'd send him after me.
Why would they send Kellogg, who can still be irradiated, and not any of the synths? And I'm wearing power armor, which is something the Institute doesn't have as part of its arsenal.
Take it easy.
Dead. He's dead. Don't you lie to me.
Not lying, I killed him myself.
I'm not.
Did you? Kellogg was ruthless. There's a reason the Institute used him to do their dirty work for so many years. I knew they'd send him after me. Tried to prepare for it. But I still wasn't sure I'd make it. So you killed him, eh? Then what do you want with me?
Why did you leave the Institute? I know you came from there.
Why did
You know about the escape? But how? No, it doesn't matter. I'm not going back.
I'm gonna
I
get
can't
out of
go
this.
back. Look at me. Why are you even here? What do you want?
I just need to know how to get in there.
relax?
Wait, what? Are you serious? You want to get into the Institute? Are you insane? Never mind how nearly impossible that is. Even if you were to succeed, it'd almost certainly end in your immediate death. What reason could you possibly have for taking that kind of risk?
Trying to get my son. The Institute kidnapped him.
I'm trying.
Oh no. I had no idea. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Institute has taken people from the Commonwealth in the past. If your son is one of them, I can understand why you'd want to get in there. I can help, but I'm going to need something in return.
Alright.
You help.
All right. If I help you, you're going to do something for me. Before I was forced to leave, I was working on a serum to reverse this mutation. It could return me to normal. You understand? So if you get in there, I need you to find it in my old office and bring it to me. I think that's pretty reasonable in exchange for helping you. All right? Let's talk details. First things first. You know how synths get in and out of the Institute?
Teleportation.
Yeah.
Well. Not many know about it. Pretty closely guarded secret. You've certainly done your homework. It's commonly referred to as the molecular relay. I don't understand all the science behind it, but it works. Dematerializes you in one place, rematerializes you in another. I'm sure it sounds crazy, but it's a reality. The relay is the only way in and out of the Institute. You understand? The only one. That means you're going to have to use it. Now, have you ever seen an Institute courser?
No, but I've heard of them.
No.
Another secret of the Institute. Trust me, it's good that you haven't found out the hard way. Coursers are Institute synths, designed for one purpose. They're hunters. Operations go wrong, a synth goes missing, and a courser is dispatched. They're very good at what they do, and you're going to have to kill one.
Is that even possible?
They're not invincible, so technically it's possible. Whether you're capable of it, I guess we'll find out. Every courser has special hardware that gives them a direct connection to the relay in the Institute. It's embedded in a chip in their heads. You need that chip. But to get it, you'll have to find a courser. Now, I don't know exactly where you can find one. They haven't sent any after me. And sitting here waiting doesn't seem like a good plan. You're going to have to hunt one down. I can tell you where to start and give you some help finding one. But you'll have to do the dirty work.
Alright.
Okay.
Right. The primary insertion point for coursers is in the ruins of CIT, directly above the Institute. So you'll want to head there. Now, the relay causes some pretty heavy interference all across the EM spectrum. You've got a radio on that Pip-Boy, right? When you get to the ruins, tune it to the lower end of the band and listen in. You'll be able to hear the interference. Follow the signal, and it'll lead you to a courser. Then, you just have to not get killed. Not gonna lie, the odds aren't in your favor here. But if you do make it, remember what I said about the serum. I need it badly. I really do hope you find what you're looking for.
Alright, so that's sort of like something you can do, or you can just go straight to green tech genetics, which is what I'm going to do. But that segment where you follow the Pip-Boy signal is actually a pretty fun bit of gameplay, because it's unique in the sense that you're not following like a marker or wayfinder or anything like that. You have to see if your Pip-Boy, it says the signal's 12% strong, 57% strong, stuff like that. But anyways, why was I not, clued into the fact that he's a super mutant now? Well, my character wasn't, other than the obvious, well, it's a big twist.
Someone was expecting trouble. We're asking for it.
Let's see, can't even see green tech genetics. Again, you would expect, oh, there it is. You would expect your character to just go in, like, blasting away when she sees a super mutant, and all of her prior experiences with them have been immediately hostile. In fact, Bethesda doesn't seem to have many good super mutant characters. There's a token one in Fallout 3 that's supposed to be so good that you forego, in the supposed good ending, poisoning the water to kill all super mutants and leave everyone else alive. And there's Virgil here. Meanwhile, in like Fallout New Vegas, yes, there are immediately hostile super mutants at Black Mountain Radio, but they're hostile because they're being fed propaganda by this insane Nightkin, who's only insane because she no longer has her robotic friend with her. Meanwhile, there's Jacobstown, which is populated almost entirely by super mutants and nightkin. And they're all cordial, they're all intelligent, they speak perfect English. You can, meander around and talk to them. There are actual characters there, and there's a companion there, and a few of the missions are involved with that area. And there's even a snow globe to snag. Much more interesting than another, essentially, raider den. And speaking of raiders, we're gonna see some variants of raiders in here. The Gunners, who are Fallout 4's version of the Talon Company from Fallout 3. There really are just raiders. There's no missions you can do with them. You can't join them. There's no characters amongst them. I think they're responsible for the Minutemen having a major fallout, pardon the pun. But other than that, there's really nothing to them other than, oh, these guys are real jerks. Oh, hey. Say goodbye to your kneecaps, Chucklehead. Alright, I had to leave and do something and completely lost my train of thought. I guess one thing I can talk about is I arbitrarily define raiders as any immediately hostile NPC that utilizes guns. So that means that variants of the raiders in Fallout 4 are the actual raiders, the super mutants, the gunners here. There's immediately hostile Children of Adam characters. Just get rid of this guy. Yeah, that's quite a few immediately hostile entities. Oh, and there's what were they called? The guys that we had to go through in order to get to Nick. They're so unmemorable, they even forgot their names. But is it any wonder they're not very memorable? I mean, it's just another bunch of raiders. What the fuck is going on up there? Oh. It's convenient. But it's all stemming from the problem of Bethesda making an open world shooter rather than RPG. Because if this was an RPG, a lot of those factions would have actual settlements you can go to and have characters and quests. it's just such a waste, especially considering I feel the art direction in Fallout 4 is really good. They certainly stepped up when it comes to having colors in the game, rather than everything being green. Come on. Alright, you handle it. I like the design of a lot of the interiors, and some of the weapons look pretty cool. I think they did a good job designing the laser pistol here. But some weapons, like the multitudes of pipe pistols, just look plain ugly. And I don't, strictly recall if I mentioned it, but I understand the thought process behind pipe pistols, that in the post-apocalypse people will fashion together their own guns, but considering what pre-war America was like, and the fact that it's America, I don't see how there isn't, like, an abundance of guns available to people.
The Courser is now on the 3rd floor. Reports of the second intruder in the east wing near the courtyard.
Who?
Just like Elvis, she died on the can. Oh, hey. Bro, pay attention. Let's actually level up. Let's see, put 1 in charisma. I'll put another there. Still cannot do that. So it's just see how shitty the system is. I still am yet to reach level 18, so arbitrarily I cannot, get better healing. Oh, there they are. I'll save just so I don't have to do all this again. Some mine there. Yeah, come forward, asshole. Someone up there. Oh. Losing health. Come on. Some pyromaniac. And that's a missile launcher, and I'm dead. Finally. I don't like that guy. Run. Cocktails myself, so why don't I use these? How am I?
Toss anything you can't hold.
Nice.
I don't think we're alone.
Alright, we finally made it up here. Missile guy was very frustrating. Still doesn't kill him, really? There we go. Good grief.
Use a little help over here.
Low-sighted heavy hunting rifle.
Terminal should open this.
Alright, that was a bit of a slog. I don't feel like playing this anymore. You can see, like, the frustration with not being able to put skill points into medicine and have to rely on the perks, which means that there's no way to, like, fast track a particular area of gameplay, like in Fallout 3 and New Vegas and 1 and 2, and, you know, just about every other fucking Fallout. Which means that everyone's character is going to end up being, like, pretty much the same. There's not going to be any medical specialist characters. There's not going to be... Can I move him?
How's
No.
a place like this survive out
Ah, come on. Want to knock him over the edge. Which means there's not going to be any specialty characters. You can't have, like, a character that specializes in sneak and espionage. You can't have... There's a bunch of ghouls in there.
Someone's coming.
Yeah, whatever. Can't have a character who specializes in science and medicine. You can have a character who specializes in persuasion only because that's tied to the charisma stat. But anything else, anything that's unique, there's just no working with it. Anyways, where am I supposed to go to next? Have the Courser chip analyzed. And that means going... to Good Neighbor. Alright, I'll fast travel over to Good Neighbor and then I think I'll call it an episode. It has not been fun. It's actually been a bit of a slog. And you know, that's part of it is me being bad at video games. I mean, I'm aware that a lot of the frustration comes from, you know,
stay on good behavior here.
these assholes are still here.
Sometimes we
You know, a lot of it is because, I was using the same weapon over and over again, and turns out the combat rifle is much better against the gunners. And also because I couldn't really use Molotov cocktails very well.
Don't ask questions.
And yeah, I probably should have taken some chems for that fight. And I also, when leveling up the character, didn't put anything even remotely in combat. So I'm aware I carry a lot of the blame for, even most of it, for what happened back there.
I'm not buying it. Come in peace.
Well, hey there. Been a long time.
You're back. The glowing sea. Virgil. What happened?
Found Virgil. He has a way inside the Institute, but I need a code from the Courser chip.
I found a Courser chip. You fought a Courser. Oh my god. Unfortunately, I can't help you. I've worked on a lot of synths, but never a Courser. I don't know what that chip does, let alone how to decode it. But there are people who might. I work with a group that, well, they're the only ones I know that even have a chance of cracking Institute security. They're called the Railroad.
Where can I find them?
Thanks. I can't contact them directly. They usually come to me when they have a synth that's escaped the Institute and wants new memories. But I do have a code phrase. Some kind of clue if I ever needed to find them on my own. Follow the Freedom Trail.
Alright.
Alright. I'll find them.
Good luck. I'm sorry what I have is so cryptic. But hopefully you can figure things out as you go.
And we will meet those clowns and talk to them later. Still in here, bub?
You got the memory pod loaded up? Oh, you're not Irma.
That's actually a pretty fun quest in there. You help a ghoul, you know, LARP as a Silver Shroud. But I don't feel like doing that quest right now. So we'll meet the Railroad later. I have quite a bit to say about those jokers, but as of now I don't feel like playing this game anymore, and so I shall not. So, yeah. Maybe I should see if there's any place that sells ammunition for Kellogg's pistol and this gun, because they both seem pretty good.
Memory den's great. Just don't get hooked.
We didn't get to the top of this town.
Let's see, weapons, this uses 308. And this uses .44.
I hope you're buying. Even if...
Let's see what you have.
Let's get you out.
I have 308, which I'll grab. But no .44. Could've sworn I picked up the rocket launcher, but I guess that was from a different playthrough. Did I turn the paint into that guy? Actually, I think I want that duct tape. Alright, I'll see you next